Hello, my name is Mark Calloway and welcome to the second of our Revit Tutorials for Beginners series. In this video we're going to take a look at some of the basic commands that you're going to use on a day-to-day basis. So in this project we have a very simple setup and we're going to use this to go through some of our modify tools. On the rim bar, on the modify tab, you have a group called modify, and this is where we can find most of these commands. For example, we have our move command here. We can copy, we can rotate, we can trim and extend to corners. You've got your mirror tools and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at the move command first. Now, when you're using some of these commands, there's two ways you can go about it. First of all, I could select the move button here. I could select the element to be moved, in this case the door, by left clicking on it. And with that highlighted and selected, I can press the return key to confirm my selection, and then to move the door I just need to pick a starting point, pick an end point, and based on the direction and distance I've moved the mouse cursor, that element will move. But you can also select the element first and then select the command, and it's going to skip that first part, that selection stage. You can then, just as before, click a base point, pick an end point, and that element will move. So you can either start the command first and select the element, or select the element and then start the command. As you can see, that was the move command there, but also just to point out, if I move my mouse cursor over an element that's selected, you'll see the mouse cursor changes to the move icon. I can simply left click and hold down and I can drag that door to a new location. One of the things you might see as well is when we've got elements selected and we're in these commands, these temporary dimensions appear on screen to aid us in moving. Some of these are editable. You can click on there, and if you know that you need a 300mm gap between the wall on the right hand side and the opening for the door, you can just type into there the 300mm and it'll make sure that the door's in a position where that distance is 300mm. The next command we'll take a look at is copy. I'm going to start the command, I'm going to make my selection, and for this one I want to select the door, this interior wall and these two desks. If I hold down the control key on the keyboard, I can add to my selection. So I'm going to click on all of those elements, press the return key to confirm my selection, and then I just need to pick a base point and an end point. For this one we're going to be a bit more precise than we were with the door. So I'm going to pick the top left hand corner of the room as my base point. And if I move over towards the right hand side and I pick the top left hand corner of the room on the right, it will make an exact copy, the same distance as the width of that room. If you've got multiple enabled on this little options bar that we have here, you can keep on placing copies of that. Okay, and then to come out of the command, just simply press escape on the keyboard. Also, you can click the modify button on the left hand side of the ribbon bar. So that's our copy command. Next we're going to rotate a desk. So I'm going to select the rotate command. I'm going to pick this desk for example, press the return key to confirm my selection, and then we get this rotation point. We can move this. By default it'll rotate around the centre of your selection, but I could move that to say the top left hand corner there. And if I want to rotate this by 90 degrees, I can pick a start point, I can move my mouse cursor by 90 degrees and it should snap, left click again, and that desk will rotate. We have a bit of a clash going on there, but we'll ignore that for now. I could just drag and move that out. Okay. So we want the same setup on the opposite side of this building. There should be a corridor going down the centre and we want an exact copy on the other side. So we're going to use the mirror command. We have mirror with pick axis and we have mirror with draw axis. Pick axis allows you to click on an existing line to mirror across, and draw axis allows us to manually draw it, which is what we'll do. So I'm going to start the mirror command. I'm going to select this wall here, and I could go around and click on all these elements and we'll mirror all of these rooms in their entirety, but you can also drag selection boxes. If I left click and hold down, I can drag a box going from left to right, but that's only going to include elements that are fully inside the selection box. If I go from right to left, I get a dash selection box, and it's going to select anything that the box touches, whether it's fully enclosed or not. With all those elements selected, I can press the return key on my keyboard, and if I can find the center point of the exterior walls, or the midpoint, this is where we're going to draw a mirror line. So I'm going to left click on the left. It doesn't really matter how far this line goes, for all intents and purposes it goes on for infinity, but if I click an end point, we will then mirror that setup across. The next command we'll take a look at is the align command. So selecting the align command, again from our modify tools, maybe I want to align the bottom of this desk with the top of this desk here. With the align command, we select what we're aligning to first. So I'm going to click the top of this desk. We then get this extension line showing us what we're aligning to. And if I now click the bottom of the desk here, it will move that up into alignment. You can constrain it by clicking this padlock here, but do be careful of over constraining your Revit models. So unless you really need to do that, I would advise that you don't. We have a delete tool. I can select an element, I can press the return key, and Revit will delete it. However, it's the same as selecting an element and then on your keyboard simply pressing the delete key. If you want to stop something from accidentally being moved, edited, we can pin that into place. If I select this desk here, we have this little pin icon, and that will stop me from being able to move it. As much as I try to drag that desk and move it to a new location, it will not allow me to move it. You can see we've got this little drawing pin icon on the floor plan indicating that it's pinned into place. If I click the unpin icon, it will remove that constraint and I can now freely move that desk about. So that covers a few of the basic commands that you will use inside Revit. There's many other commands which we won't go through on this particular session. Please stay tuned for our third video of the series where we'll start looking at creating walls. Thank you for watching.